Jacob, almost 16 pounds today. You're kind of a guy that, you know, is pretty good at just kind of running around, fishing the moment, I think is a word I heard you use earlier. Is that basically kind of how your day rolled out?
It really did. It didn't start off really well at all. I mean, I ran to a lot of little areas and there's a lot of boats in there, and I just said, you know, this is not going well. And so I had to make an adjustment. And luckily caught one really good one, and then I just went fishing. I said, all right, you know, started on a pretty good bed fish and caught that fish, and then I went fishing and you know, places that I thought that I was going to maybe catch a 2-pounder, I caught a 4, and then I caught a 3.5, and then all of a sudden that's the difference right there. You know, you catch one good bed fish, and then you go fishing, you catch 4 and a 3.5, and now all of a sudden I have a good bag. And so, you know, the biggest thing on beaver is trying to stay consistent in keeping those teams. So 13, anything 13, 14, 15, that's money in the bank. And so after I had a pretty good bag, I'm using my Rapala scale, weighing every one of them, knowing what I have, and I had a 180 in the bag, and I said, you know, it was at the point where I saw maybe a couple fish that might help me, 2-pounders, 2.25, but I don't have that many fish that I feel like I can catch. So I'm like, look, I got to be careful.
Yep.
You know,
management's key.
Management is key. It's very key. So, but it was a good day.
From a lot of the leaders, it sounds like, I mean, you mentioned some sight fish and just kind of going fishing, but that combination right now kind of seems to be the thing. Like, you know, you have a few found, you can pluck them, but also you got to get bit when you're not looking at one.
You have to. You can't win this tournament solely on sight fishing. It's just not going to happen. Well, right now, those fish that are up have been up for 2 weeks. See, males will go up there and they'll make their beds, and they'll stay up there for 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. So they're very skinny. So they've been up there for a while, they're very smart, and they're very weary. And so what happens now is those fish aren't gonna stay up, they're constantly leaving. I have fish that have left every single day of practice, and I'm like, dang, that sucker's gone now. So, I mean, you're not gonna be able to go the distance in this tournament by just sight fishing. So you have to have something else, and that's sort of, you know, that's what's important, to have a couple different things that you can catch those post-spawn fish that are just coming off.
Yes. How many beds do you have left marked?
You know, I have a lot of little spotted bass marked, but I probably only have, you know, 15. But and you know, the thing is, they're so spooky. I don't know how many I can really catch.
Or if they're still there.
Yeah, they might. You know, they're leaving every day, and they're spooky, and so there might be 2 or 3 of them that I can catch.
Okay. When you're not looking at them, do you have is it a variety of baits that you're using right now to get bit on, or are you kind of more dialed in? It's kind of 1 or 2 things.
No, it's 2 things, but I'm either really moving fast and trying to cover lots of water, and I've caught one of my good ones today moving really fast. And then I had one of my deals where I'm actually looking for a specific thing and actually slowing down and taking my time. Where they're not, there might be spawning, but I can't see them. You know, so that's really what my 2, you know, back to back. You know, if I go down a little area and I'm like, man, I know there's got to be some spawning here, but I can't see them, I'll slow down. Or then I'll roll down through here and I'll catch a couple, you know, pretty good ones if moving too. And
on Beaver Lake, you can't really pick, a certain pocket really, or one, you know, little stretch and do well and, you know, make it to the final day. So how much water are you utilizing here on Beaver right now?
I'm about 15 miles. I ran, you know, 15 miles, about 15 miles of the lake today. Utilized about 15 miles of the lake today. I try to, you know, I caught a few spots. The thing is, on Beaver Lake, it's very difficult to catch 5 largemouth every single day. Keeper largemouth, 15 inches, you know. So you have to have a few areas that those spotted bass are living in, and the largemouth. And that really makes it easier if you're actually fishing and you get a bite, it's a spot, you get in the boat, it might be 1.25 pounds, but that's a weight that goes on to the next day, and that's really important. 1.25 pounds in this tournament is going to be huge. So just having, even if you have, you know, 2 or 3 big largemouth, you know, 3 or 4 pounders, then you know you fill your bag with 2 you know, 1.25 pound spots. That's 2.5 pounds, and then you have a good bag.
Well, it's a scary thing for most of the field when Jacob Wheeler's getting dialed in, and it seems like it's that way right now. Good luck to you tomorrow, man.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.